Yo, what is going on, Steeler Nation? This is take two. I wasn't recording. I'm here today with my co-host for Steel Factory Podcast, episode 223.
What's up?
And we got our matching t-shirts for the podcast. I think we look fucking good.
It's on sale now.
It's on sale now.
It's on sale now.
Link in description.
I'll deliver it
Anyways,
myself.
we're going right into it. We're gonna be talking just the stuff that happened this past week. We'll go right into Eric Bieniemy and why the Steelers aren't making any moves right now. The news just is out now that he's signing with Washington, and who wants to take it away?
Dude, the fact that the Eagles defensive coordinator got a head coaching job and like head coaching looks before Bieniemy is criminal. Like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The Eagles defense was obviously very static and like it never really competed with great quarterbacks. Like looking at like every single that's the thing with the Eagles this whole season, right? It's like they haven't played anybody. And it was obvious that anytime they did play a high caliber quarterback in the last couple of years, that they didn't stack up very well at all. And that can be traced back to like defensive coordinators. But somehow Gannon got a head coaching job before Bieniemy even got OC looks, which is wild.
Right.
It's wild.
Right. I was just thinking of who they might have played this year in the regular season. I mean, there really is no like amazing quarterback in the NFC, especially this past year, besides Hurts maybe. So that's just one way to look at it there. And I don't know who else they played in the AFC. But yeah, I mean, the point is there. I don't know what Bieniemy's past is and if it did play a role in him not getting a job. But I don't know. Do you think there's anything there that could have stopped it from getting a job?
Past?
Or just the fact that it's a minority?
I think it's more so like the owners can't relate to him, and I don't think that's a good enough reason to not hire him. I think if he's the best person for the job, you should give him a chance. I don't think. Do you think the Rooneys would have related to Tomlin when he got hired in 2007? I don't.
No.
I don't buy that.
Yeah.
I think they just saw the best candidate and hired him, and I think Bieniemy probably should have been hired already and given that opportunity.
Put it to you like this, dude. If Mike Vick can get back into the NFL,
Mike Vick played for the Steelers too.
I know.
We were at that game in 2015. That's fucking crazy. Saw fucking Michael Vick in the black and gold. But honestly, the frustration or the pain was setting away about us keeping Canada, and then the fact that we didn't make a move here. We knew the contract was going to be up with the Chiefs. For Bieniemy, he was already getting interviews during the playoffs, and we still didn't do anything. I don't know if the Steelers think. I mean, that's obviously been their thing. Like, okay, our thing is, at the end of the day, continuity is always going to prevail, and it's always going to be our thing. And we saw how many OC changes this offseason already, like 10, right? 11, whatever. Do they think that by sticking with Canada, they're going to be better than the other teams that are changing their OC?
No, I don't think so. I think...
Is there something we're not seeing here?
I think it's like they don't want to pay top dollar and compete for a new OC, right? Like if the Ravens, who just got an OC, are paying like $8 million, and like we're paying fucking Matt Canada like $5 million, and like we're gonna have to pay Matt Canada $5 million on like when we fire him for his last year.
It was only gonna be $1 million this year, by the way.
Oh, okay. And then on top of that, pay another offensive coordinator the fucking like $8 million to match it. Like we don't that's not in the budget, I guess. But maybe it is because we fucking lost Flores and we lost that other the guy that retired after 30 years.
Yeah. And then we lost, I think, like an assistant offensive guy. Was it Blaine Stewart?
Yeah, we lost 3 coaches, I think.
Yeah, so our staff that was already small got even smaller. I don't know if that's a big deal or not. I don't know where we go from here. They keep saying they expect us to expand our coaching staff. I don't know what you do with that now, already towards the end of February. But hey, man, I mean, at the end of the day, what Tomlin is doing with subpar coaching talent and a minimal coaching staff is honestly impressive in my eyes now.
Yeah, I'll take it. If we gave him the resources, I think he could be even better.
But yeah, which we need to do.
Yeah, imagine Tomlin with a rich owner. That'd hit nice.
Fuck.
It would have been nice to compete for Bieniemy. I think Bieniemy was probably looking for a defensive coach, right? That way he could have complete control of
Exactly.
the offense.
Instead,
Yeah.
he got Ron Rivera.
So then, like, say we did go out for Bieniemy, and it was between us and Washington. I think we check all the boxes compared to
Like,
them.
who's he gonna? He has Carson Wentz and
Somehow,
not even.
Sam Howell. I cannot even Carson Wentz, huh? Yeah, they don't even have like a for sure lock at quarterback. I mean, not saying that
Yeah.
we really do, but Kenny Pickett has proven to be the starter going into next year. He's earned that. But I don't know, man. I think it's just frustrating to see that again, and the scar is not fully healed yet. But we'll see. I'm not gonna try to convince myself that there is something there that they just haven't really opened up yet with the playbook, because it's not there. It's not there. There's not another extra 100 pages hidden away for Dish next year. If there is, it isn't. But yeah, we'll move on to what should we go into now? Because we do have a mock draft to get into. I don't know if you guys want to save that for last.
go for
Yeah,
it.
we should save it. Okay.
We should save it. Yeah, fuck it, let's do it live. So we have a mock draft here that mainly I in my spare time, a lot of spare time, kind of just wrote up really quickly before we go into the combine at the end of this month. We wanted to get probably about 3 mock drafts out, one pre-combine, then after combine, and then after like pro days, probably a week before the draft. We only did one last year, which was just before the draft.
And we
But
kind of nailed that one.
we kind of did. We really did. We really did. But
We got all the positions right, and we even fucking called fucking Pickens.
we called Pickens,
Yeah.
we called Connor Hayward. We didn't get the Chris Oladokun one though. Congrats on winning a fucking Super Bowl though.
What a pick.
What a pick that was. So we'll get into it. The hot debate here though is going with Jordan Addison in the first round, which we're really sticking by here. I think right after the season ended, well, that was our bold predictions going into this offseason. Let's reaffirm our case here though. Chewy, you want to go?
Step one, he played with Pickett, and they played awesome together. I mean,
Tape don't
he
lie.
won. He was the best receiver in college, right? He won the award.
He won the Biletnikoff 2021 as a sophomore.
He goes to USC, has a great year. He was injured a little bit, so not as good of stats, and on a much better team. So,
Oh yeah,
or at
that,
least a
that,
more
that
stacked
offense
team.
was stacked.
And he still was the best receiver there. I think he's definitely like the top 2 receiver in this class.
Right.
Him and the guy from TCU, right?
I would say, yeah.
I feel like we need a receiver. Is it our number 1 need? No. Is it like a luxury pick? Yes. If we do decide to take a receiver, I think he's the guy.
I think I don't think receivers are a luxury pick, because the way you see a lot of teams and a lot of the way that teams value receivers nowadays, like look at the money they're paying them, and look at how many receivers went really in the first 3 rounds last year.
Right.
Right, it was a stacked class at receiver, but there was a fuck ton of receivers chosen, and it's just because of the way the league is moving. Right, it's way more pass oriented, and a lot of teams want to build up their receiver room like an NBA offense with a lot of different profiles of players.
It's an arms
Right.
race. That's what I
Yeah.
look at right now.
3
So-
receivers are starting for you, so
Yeah.
if he's gonna, you have to have 3 receivers pretty much.
And we got rid of Claypool, which, I mean, it's not a total loss, but we got the 32 pick out of it, which is the big thing here. So that allows us to still really kind of get a receiver in this first round, knowing that we could get our other needs still early on in the draft. That's why I really feel like we could go Addison here. He'll probably be the best player available at this point in the draft too. And I do see, I think the top 2 tackles already off the board at this point, which would be Paris Johnson and Peter Skoronski. I don't know if you guys have heard much from them. But I do think there is more than capable offensive tackles that'll be in the second round, which we'll get into. But yeah, let's go with the 32 pick now. First pick in the second round. Who's got this one? Read it off for me.
Ellie Ringo, cornerback out of Georgia.
I like this one.
I like this one a lot. He's 20 years old. He's 6'2". He's very physical. He has like all the all the measurables are there. He obviously played on like a super stacked defense in Georgia, right? They probably have the best player in their whole draft at like one of the best positions or one of the most impactful positions in football today. But what I've seen from our defensive coaching staff lately is they can coach up the secondary very well. Like we have a lot of secondary players that are serviceable that aren't really talented. You know, I don't
That
think
other teams have kicked to the curb, but let's be real here. Like Witherspoon.
Yeah, we don't. I don't think that's
else?
very controversial to say. Like we don't have the
Wallace?
most talented room, but we have guys that are coached up well, and I think Ringo, he has the talent, he has the measurables, and I'd really like to see what our coaching staff can do with him.
That'd be really nice to see him, Sutton, and Wallace next year.
Yeah, I
That'd be
think
really nice.
this guy's the potential to be like a consistent Pro Bowler, I think.
And another thing too is there's a lot of cornerbacks in this draft class, right? And we haven't really hit on corners early on in the draft, and I think that's the reason why I don't want us to use our 17th overall on a corner.
Yeah,
And
don't trust it.
be much more comfortable getting Addison. But 32, it does show that we're making an effort to go high on a corner. And if it's not Ringo and someone else comes out, I'll be happy. But I really don't want to see us going first round on a corner because of that. But then we get into our next pick here. This guy, fucking huge. DeJuan Jones. I think the Paris Johnson though isn't he also what's it called, from Ohio State? So there's two tackles going high out of Ohio State, which is interesting. But just recently from the Senior Bowl, we saw this guy have just crazy measurables. He has a huge wingspan, and I think this is just something that we need. I mean, no one's gonna argue with that. I think this is a tackle we end up with at this point in the draft, right?
I hope he's there.
I hope he's there.
I think taking him at 32 might be.
I think Ringo and Jones might be interchangeable at this point, and if not Ringo, maybe a guy like Emmanuel Forbes later on in the second round. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think probably OT at that first pick of the second round is probably a good spot for us. And then corner later on in the second round.
For the same reason that we don't want to use our higher picks because we've missed so much on them. On corner.
Yeah.
I don't trust it.
This is a more stacked class at corner too than offensive tackle.
I can see that, yeah. And then in the third round, I'd really want us to go in again, just like we did last year, in getting DeMarvin Leal and get fortify that D line. And just going down the PFF big board, I see this guy Keanu Benson perhaps falling to around that point. But yeah, I'd like us to go edge D line at this point in the draft, whoever it may be. It's probably not Keanu Benson. We'll see what happens, and I'll be really happy if we go D line. What did you guys think about this position and need?
Yeah, I think edge or D line is probably important, especially what happens with Highsmith here, and Hayward's getting older, so this is definitely something we should do.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. I think we need to start. We're gonna have to start building up our defense again to just be younger in general, right? Like it's kind of our timelines aren't necessarily there yet.
It'd be really mad. It'd be really sad if we see our defense start to age right when our young offense starts to click, which
exactly
could be because of Canada. But yeah, we'll
go.
But
at that point, you got to make trades. It's like fuck it, you just need to trade for talent.
Then we'll go with the guard at USC, Andrew Voorhees. But yeah, we need another guard, probably to compete with Dotson here. He's 6'6", 325. I could see him easily competing with Dotson. Started a handful of games or a lot of games at USC, I believe, right, Chewy?
Yeah, he has a lot of starting experience, a bunch of reps, and I think at that position, that's what you want, especially at this point in the draft. Just give me some guy that has the experience.
He's
Right.
fucking huge too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take him there.
And then Servassier Dennis, linebacker at Pitt. That's a sick ass name. But yeah, good linebacker at Pitt. I mean, his stock obviously isn't that high just because whatever. But yeah, Pitt was a solid defense in the ACC. I like to go linebacker at this point too. Just trying to draft for potential at this point, late in the draft in the 7th round. Same thing with Caleb Murphy. I'm reading him. He's apparently redshirt sophomore. Could play around the O-line. Mainly played center last year at Indiana, but we'll see what happens there. What do you guys think about our placements in the draft here? We have 4 picks in the top 80, and then we really don't pick again until like the end of the draft.
I mean, that's sick. I think like this is nice because this draft class has a lot of talent at the line, at the offensive line, and it has a lot of talent at the cornerbacks. And I feel like those are 2 things where we desperately need talent. So
Right.
being able to pick from a pretty big pool, like up early in the draft, is fantastic. This is working out pretty nicely for us, I think.
Yeah, I like it too. I also think in terms of like that linebacker pick, I'd rather go linebacker in free agency and then get some talent late in the round.
Yeah,
as well.
I'm assuming we'll need a guy to probably replace
Bush.
Bush and Spillane, so we need the depth. We'll have Robinson and
Jack.
Edmonds.
Hopefully Edmonds.
we'll get Tremaine Edmonds. We'll see what
For
happens
sure.
to Miles Jack. I'm seeing that we could save so much cap space by cutting him.
Yeah, he wasn't that good.
We'll see what happens. But let's get into the drama here. What did you guys think of Juju's antics on Twitter? Are you happy he's gone and we don't got to deal with that no more? I mean, he is a Super Bowl winner though, Super Bowl champion.
I mean, when Juju was with us, it was kind of understandable.
It was kind of cute, man.
He was like 19 when he got drafted, right?
Yeah.
He was super young, so it was like, he's just a dumb kid. But at this point, he's mid-20s. It's kind of like, come on, like it's kind of a bitch move. Like you just like fucking take the W and move on with your life, dude.
Move on with your life. I don't know. There's a lot of people that want him back, especially the group that says we need a veteran receiver. I don't know what you do with a veteran receiver. You plug and play him. I know Juju was good in the slot. I know we kind of need a slot guy. Would you want Juju back?
I'll take him back, but I'm not begging for him. It also depends, like, I wish the draft was before free agency so I could see what I need to do.
That's true. I mean, I guess it works the other way around though. You see what you need to do in the draft based on free agency. That's why we'll have another mock draft after the free agency goes down. March 15th, boys. Mark it in your calendars. Man, we're less than a month away. That's exciting. But I don't know. It's stupid at this point. I at this point, let it go. I don't want to see him come back. But in other news, the Ramsey rumors are heating up again, and we talked about this really early on. I think I don't want to say we were the first to kind of just throw this out there because like we always do, we're kind of just throwing shit out hoping it sticks. But this really did stick.
We weren't the first, but yeah.
Okay, we were the first. We recorded about a week before anyone else even thought of it. We just didn't post it.
But the news came out yesterday. I don't really know how much of a big deal this is, but Sutton's contract was voided. I don't know. I don't really know how the contract thing works, but yeah, he's a full free agent. I think there was something we could have saved, like $2 million in cap space, if we would have extended him prior to yesterday, but we didn't. And his value is around 3 years, $23 million. We're throwing out there around maybe the 32nd pick would be enough to get Ramsey to Pittsburgh. Knowing that Sutton's value is around there and knowing Ramsey's value from when we first talked about it, what are you thinking at this point?
I mean, I'm looking if we can throw out that second rounder and get Ramsey, like literally one of the best corners in the league, if not the best, like we have to do it, right? Especially, I mean, especially like if we're making moves like this, or maybe we're thinking like, okay, you know what, this is a cornerback heavy draft, and we have 4 picks in the top 80. Maybe we don't need Sutton because we know he's going to be too expensive, and we already have a fuck ton of money in this defense, and we just saw the Chiefs win a Super Bowl with rookie corners. Like maybe
Fuck.
it's not.
Damn.
Maybe you know.
But I don't that 3 for 23. If we could do that, I would do that right now. Just lock that in for me.
That's spot tracks value.
I would do it without thinking about
What,
it.
what does that average out to? What, like 7.3 million a year?
Yeah, I think he's worth at least
7.5.
I think if we got him for 8 million a year, that'd be pretty cheap. I don't know.
I could see it. I mean, I do think he'd probably end up re-signing just because how much of the history we usually do. We'll keep our guys. You know what I mean? Especially if they're not begging for so much money. I think Sutton does come back, and I do think. Dude, we just don't do these moves, dude. We just don't trade our picks for guys like Ramsey. I mean,
No, so Khan.
we've done it. We did it with Minka.
And it worked.
Yeah, it did work. Shit. I really don't. I want to say no, but dude, who wouldn't be fucking gassed up if that happened?
I would do it. I would do it, and I would still sign Sutton. Fuck it.
Yeah, then our fucking defense is nice, and then that really.
Yeah,
that,
and you
that
don't have to
gives us-
draft a corner. You have veterans still that could give you a solid 2-3 years.
You keep Wallace too, and then you have those 3 guys.
Wallace kicks into the number 3. Fuck.
Well, he'd still be the outside guy. I think Sutton would play this a lot, and then Ramsey just follows your best guy.
And
Yeah.
that gives us a nice 3-year window where like I feel our defense is really
Still good.
yeah.
If our D line isn't going to be there, our corners and secondary have to, which they automatically will, just because we have Minka. And I still don't know what we do with Edmonds, or if they want to play Casey in there. We'll see what happens. There's a lot of things that could happen.
I think right now with Pickett on his contract, just go for it. I don't care. Don't save money. Just go for it. Make a move.
Yeah, I mean, if you feel like Pickett's a fucking guy, like, and I bet they do, then just go all in on these next 4 years. Like,
Now's
this
the time.
this is a window right here.
Look at the Eagles. They went crazy in free agency last year.
Yeah. Oh, they did actually, huh? They did the AJ Brown trade and all that.
And they did it. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it was like a success in general. Like, fuck, everything worked out. If just we didn't run into the most talented quarterback of all time.
Also, why you mentioned that the Chiefs won the Super Bowl with all those rookie corners and all those guys they just plugged in from the draft this past year, I think it's really, really interesting. And it kind of just follows like the Steelers model too, that we're just gonna build through the draft.
I mean, but it's another like it's also another like
They're already
Like,
trapped in a
another
QB
point.
salary too. That's the thing, that they had to do that way,
yeah. I mean, but it works out because it's fucking Mahomes.
right?
But that's another point for the crowd of coaching fucking matters, dude. Like Spagnuolo, like their defensive coordinator for the Chiefs, like
He's not getting any
defense-
looks for a head coaching job.
He's already been a head coach and failed at that. So
I think I remember now. What team?
the Rams, I think.
Rams. Oh, was that
Wasn't-
Goff's like first year or some shit?
I have no idea.
It doesn't matter.
For a while, he beat the Patriots in 07 in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, with the fucking Giants.
He was the
Yeah.
DC then.
Yeah.
He's pretty old. He's not like a
He's-
big guy.
That's what's interesting about defensive coordinators is like it's not like offensive coordinators where it's just like the boy genius can come in and fucking start winning games. Like there's no like defensive geniuses. Like it's just like old motherfuckers that like have been around forever.
It's dying out. It is an offensive league. Defense. I don't know.
I think it's just like you just need the reps. You just need the experience to like be like, oh yeah, I know this coverage works for this motherfucker, but you need 20 years to be able to put that into practice.
Right. Do we have anything else to go over now, guys?
I guess if you don't like any of our draft positions, or if you think anyone's too high or too low, you can blame PFF.
Oh, I don't get why. Okay, because PFF, I'm on like the mock draft simulators like almost every day, and I did see that they updated their rankings from their big board, and Kelly Ringo dropped even more. I think this gap was like around like the mid 40s, which was obviously already stupid. But I'm seeing him fall to like 80 now. 70 something. What is PFF? What is there not to like about Ringo?
I don't know.
That was the main thing that brought this up.
We've got him. We got him at 32 right now. I feel really good about that.
The Steel Factory grade has him at around 32 on our big board, so I really don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
don't
like. I
to drop
think.
after the season.
What was that?
How do you drop from 40 to 80 that quickly after the season?
After on the
without
off season?
playing.
Maybe guys just skyrocketed up. I don't know. The measurables in
think
from the
it-
Senior Bowl.
I think it's like they're trying to 200 IQ it. Like, oh no, you know what? Maybe he's not actually that good. I've been watching a bunch of tape and like it's actually like the defensive. Like it's like George Costanza trying to think his way like into anything, and it's just like, dude, just fuck it. It's like straight up, he's good. Don't overthink it, man.
We won the World Series last year.
In 6 games.
So stupid. Oh my god. But yeah, we'll get more into the draft. This is honestly draft season. This is another episode to kind of just wrap up news in the past week, concluding the Super Bowl and just how things have changed, going week by week on our takes on how the Steelers will probably move forward. You know, we went over the enemy stuff. We're looking towards, you know, how teams, you know, were in the Super Bowl, got to Super Bowl, and how that's going to change our kind of mock draft and our kind of thinking, and what we do in free agency as well. But that'll do it for us today, guys, unless you guys have any closing remarks.
Nah, fuck PFF.
All right, we'll catch you on the next one. I think it'll be probably after the combine, I'd say, right before free agency. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and peace out.